What if I told you that everything you think you know about freedom is wrong? We've been sold this idea that freedom means no rules, no limits, doing whatever we want, whenever we want. But here's the truth. That path doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to chaos, to regret, to waking up one day and realizing life has passed you by while you were distracted, comfortable, and stuck. Because real freedom, the kind that lets you wake up excited, the kind that gives you options, the kind that lets you look in the mirror and respect the person staring back, that freedom isn't found in laziness. It's forged in discipline. Think about it. The athlete isn't trapped by their training. They're unleashed by it. The writer isn't caged by their daily writing habit. That habit is what tears the bars off their creativity. Discipline isn't the enemy of freedom. It's the doorway. So today, we're flipping the script. This isn't another lecture about grinding yourself into the ground. This is about understanding that discipline is the ultimate cheat code for energy, for confidence, for a life where you call the shots. By the end of this episode, you won't just see discipline differently, you'll crave it. Because once you realize it's the hidden path to true freedom, nothing will ever be the same. Let's get real for a second. We live in a world that sells us freedom like it's a cheap fast food meal. Quick, easy, and satisfying for about 5 minutes. Scroll social media, and it's all hustle-free success, overnight transformations, and get rich doing what you love by tomorrow. Sounds great, right? But deep down, you know it's a lie. Because here's what nobody tells you. The so-called easy freedom. The kind where you skip the work, ignore the grind, and chase constant comfort. It doesn't set you free. It builds you a prison. A prison with invisible bars made of procrastination, excuses, and that nagging voice that whispers, you could have been more. Think about it. When you avoid discipline, you don't escape consequences. You just hand control over to them. Hit snooze for the 5th time? Now you're stressed rushing to work. Skip the gym for months? Now your energy's gone. Put off that project? Now you're stuck in a job you hate. That's not freedom. That's life slapping you with a bill for laziness. And the worst part? The more you run from discipline, the smaller your world gets. No discipline means no growth. No growth means no options. No options means you're trapped, stuck in the same routines, the same frustrations, watching other people live a life you tell yourself you'll someday have. But what if I told you there's a way out? A way to flip the script? Because the people who look truly free, the ones who travel on their terms, build businesses they love, radiate confidence. They didn't find that freedom by avoiding discipline. They unlocked it by mastering it. Discipline isn't the enemy of freedom. It's the only way to earn it. And in the next section, we're breaking down exactly how that works. So if discipline isn't the enemy of freedom, but the path to it, what does that actually look like? How does saying no to temporary comforts translate into real, lasting power? It starts by understanding this. Discipline isn't one thing. It's three layers that stack, each one unlocking a new level of control over your life. First, physical discipline. This is where it all begins. Your body isn't just a vessel, it's your foundation. When you master your sleep, your movement, what you fuel yourself with, you're not just building a better body. You're proving to yourself every single day that you're in charge, that you're the kind of person who follows through. And that proof, it spills into everything else. Second, mental discipline. This is where most people lose the fight. Your mind will always choose distraction over effort unless you train it. Every time you focus when you'd rather scroll, every time you learn when you'd rather numb out, you're not just getting smarter. You're reclaiming your attention, the most valuable currency you have. And attention, controlled over time, becomes mastery. Third, emotional discipline. This is the silent game changer. It's choosing the hard conversation over avoidance. It's sitting with discomfort instead of reaching for the quick fix. It's deciding that your long-term vision matters more than your short-term feelings. And when you do that, you stop being a puppet to your moods. You start acting, not reacting. Here's what's wild. None of this is complicated. It's just hard. But the hardness is the point. Because every time you choose discipline, you're not just doing a workout or finishing a task or resisting a temptation. You're casting a vote for the person you're becoming, and those votes add up faster than you think. Discipline isn't a cage, it's the key, and once you turn it, that's when the gates swing open. Now, let me show you the algorithm, the actual equation that transforms discipline from a grind into your greatest competitive advantage. It works like this. Discipline creates mastery. Mastery creates options. Options create freedom. This isn't philosophy, it's physics. Action begets consequence. Consistent action begets extraordinary results. Think of discipline as compound interest for your character. Every rep, every early morning, every resisted temptation. These are deposits in your freedom account. And just like compound interest, the real magic happens after the curve. Most people quit before the inflection point. They plant the seed and dig it up every week to check for roots. But you're going to understand something fundamental. The first 90% of discipline feels like sacrifice. The last 10% feels like superpowers. Here's what they don't tell you about mastery. It's not about perfection. It's about progression. Every time you choose a disciplined path, you're not moving towards some distant finish line. You're expanding your circle of competence. And with each expansion comes new leverage over your life. This is where most people get it backwards. They think freedom comes first, that they'll suddenly become disciplined when they have more time, more money, more motivation. But the equation only works one way. Discipline, mastery, options, freedom. That moment when your skills intersect with opportunity, that's not luck. That's the universe paying interest on all those deposits you've been making in yourself. Every discipline action is a down payment on a future where you call the shots, where you're not begging for opportunities. You're selecting them, where you're not trapped by circumstances. You're designing them. The math doesn't lie. The only question is, are you willing to solve for X? So, how do we turn this from theory into practice? How do we make discipline not just something we endure, but something we crave? It starts with one radical mindset shift. Stop viewing discipline as restriction. Start seeing it as your personal invitation to greatness. The biggest mistake? Trying to change everything at once. That's not discipline. That's self-sabotage in disguise. Here's the truth bomb. Massive results come from microscopic, daily commitments. 5 minutes of meditation, 10 push-ups, 1 page written. These aren't just actions, they're identity-shaping rituals. Why does this work? Because every small win proves to your subconscious, I am someone who follows through. And that proof, it compounds faster than money in the bank. Let me be brutally honest. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. That resistance you feel, that's your growth trying to happen. When your brain screams quit, that's the exact moment most people walk away. But you'll recognize this feeling for what it really is. The universe testing how badly you want this. Discomfort isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Because comfort is where dreams go to die. Listen carefully. Willpower is a myth. The most disciplined people aren't relying on motivation. They've removed the need for it. Delete the apps, prep the meals, set out the workout clothes, automate the savings. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your environment is either working for your freedom or against it. There is no neutral. 1 miss is an accident. 2 misses is the beginning of a pattern. 3, that's a new habit, and it's probably not the one you wanted. Here's your ironclad rule. Never let an exception become the standard. When you slip, and you will, you have exactly 24 hours to reset. No guilt, no drama, just course correction. From this moment forward, I need you to stop asking, do I feel like it? And start asking, does this serve my freedom? That midnight snack? That skipped workout? That procrastinated project? They're not just choices. They're votes for the person you're becoming. Every single action is either building your prison or demolishing it. The chains were never around your wrists. They were between your ears. And today you're learning how to break them. Here's what I need you to understand. This isn't about getting up early or eating clean or checking off to-do lists. This is about sovereignty. The kind of power that lets you look life dead in the eye and say, I decide. For the next 30 days, I dare you to conduct an experiment. Pick one area where you've been weak. Just one. Your sleep, your focus, your fitness, your finances. And for 30 days, no excuses, no negotiations. You treat that commitment like it's the military code of a life you're desperate to earn. Why? Because in 30 days, one of two things will happen. Either you'll quit and prove to yourself you're content with mediocrity, or you'll discover something terrifyingly beautiful. You're so much stronger than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. Discipline isn't the price you pay for freedom. It's the privilege you claim when you finally decide you're done being ordinary. Asterisk, so tell me right now, out loud, what's your 30-day discipline? Name it. Claim it. Asterisk, this is your line in the sand. This is where your old self stops and your future self begins. The world needs what you'll become on the other side of this. Don't you dare keep it waiting.